Hey guys, I got a video for you today. I have a Weehoo ride along here that I pull behind my bicycle. I've been using it with both of my children. I get a lot of questions and people seeing it and think it's pretty cool, so I thought I'd do a video about it. There's a few videos on YouTube and I'll give you my takes on it, little opinions, actually little modifications that I've done to it to make it a little bit safer. So here we go. So this is the Weehoo, and here is the website for it. It's the weehoobicycletrailer.com. My local bike shop has this. You'll frequently see this over in Europe. Well, I don't know about frequently, but it seems like the videos that have been posted online have been over in Europe. And it's a great little trailer. We'll start from the back. And you've got a 20 by 1.95 width tire, inflate about 40-50 psi, so fairly firm. We've got two really nice saddle bags so you can haul your kids' junk and gear and snacks, because you of course know that they're going to get hungry. Behind the seat storage, so you can throw some little jackets or something like that if they get cold. This did come with a flag, so it makes you more visible. I currently don't have the flag. I think I lost it by accident. But I did mount a real tail light here, so I'm more visible when I'm out riding. It's got a round tube bracket system underneath, so it's adjustable as your kid grows. So you just pop these two levers down, and then it scoots forward and backwards depending on how long your kid's legs are. Moving over to the front, we have got a harness system, and so for smaller children, you put these straps through the loops, and it brings it down a little bit lower on their shoulders, and then that buckles there, and that buckles across their chest. You got some handles here. You have an optional attachable mud guard that comes with it if you want to put it on, which is nice. So if you have to go through any puddles or if it starts to rain a little bit, the kids don't get the spray from your rear tire. So a couple requirements for this bike to actually use this. One is you have to have a round seat tube. All your mounting brackets are designed for a round seat tube. So if you have an aero bicycle, this will not work. So this one here works great on this little bicycle, and there's some spacers depending on what size seat tube you have, so it's very versatile for many size different bikes. If you have a mountain bike that happens to have a larger tube or just a weird size seat tube, it comes with like 5 maybe different spacers. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and mount this up. Once you get this adjusted on here and the spacer in here for your particular seat tube, it's actually quite simple. You just lift it up. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody help you. That just hooks right on there, and then you have a locking pin that goes through it. Get that snugged down and cinch that tight. Now it's always nice to put a bit of grease in between here because it'll squeak a little bit and kind of sound funny, and the tighter you can get this, I found, the better. So let's zoom on back and look at it now that we've got it mounted. A couple little things. First off, these are not part of the Weehoo that come with it. They come with little pedals that have Velcro straps. So if you have small children, you can actually lock their feet in here. The Velcro snugs around their shoes. These are actually optional baskets that I threw on here for my older child. He likes to be able to take his feet in and out, and he's up high enough that they don't drag on the ground. The next thing is a safety concern that I hope Weehoo addresses eventually, and that's the way the handles in the bike works. So the handles are straight in line with this trailer. And so one problem that I have been concerned about is if I were, heaven forbid, to crash, this whole unit lays perfectly flat against the ground. So if you were to knock over, your kids holding on to here, their hands are going to smash against the ground and do horrible things to their hand. Also, their head would come in contact with the ground, which makes me very nervous. So one simple modification is I got some mountain bike bullhorn handlebars, which were about $19. I'm sure you can find them cheaper on eBay somewhere. And put these in the reverse position. So if this bike ever were to lay over, and I can just go ahead and do it now. We'll lay it over. Your kid's head and hands are never going to come in contact with the ground. So I feel like this makes it much safer in the event if I were to ever get into a crash. Overall, I really like this. Once your child starts to get quite a bit heavier, it does make it a little bit more difficult to keep it upright, especially if they're wiggling around and back, because you do have quite a bit of extra weight. The lower you can keep your center of gravity, obviously, the better, because if you start to get this up too high, you start to get kind of wobbly. But I've used this with my 3-year-old currently, and let's see, somewhere on here there was a weight. Let's see, it says 65 pounds. Now, of course, my wife could ride in this. I don't recommend it because it's going to make it hard for you to stay upright. But it does support quite a bit of weight. One thing I forgot to mention is this pedal system back here. There's actually a chain that feeds the rear wheel, and so your child is actually pedaling and helping you or not helping you, and it can freewheel. So when your kids' feet are locked in, if they don't want to pedal, they can just sit there and rest, and it'll freewheel just fine. When you're going up a hill, it's nice to have them helping a little bit because you are pulling them. So overall, I really like it. It served me well. I've been able to do a few charity bike rides with my kids and have them come along and do some longer, 20 plus mile, 30 mile rides when I knew they wouldn't be able to do it on their own bikes. So do I recommend it? Yes, with a couple modifications. Definitely the little handlebar extensions to make this safe. It is definitely something worthwhile. I picked this up for about $200. You don't see them much anywhere on Craigslist, so if you find one, grab it up, and I don't think you'll be disappointed.